What up?
What's up, bro?
Chilling.
You want to introduce yourself for the
Yes.
3 people that don't know who you are in the world?
I am Bboy Lego Flipside King's crew, Miami, Florida.
Word. And what are you doing today?
We just climbed some mountains, man. We're up here.
First time climb mountains in Canada?
In Canada, yes. So this is dope.
What'd you think about it?
It was just adventurous. There was a lot of lessons in it, mostly patience.
What were some of the best lessons you got from today?
If you want to see the view, you gotta climb.
True. True, man. What are you in Canada for?
I was here for the non-anniversary.
Hey, how was it?
It was amazing. It was good, man. A lot of people, a lot of B-boys having fun,
Yeah,
enjoying
yeah.
themselves.
How do you feel about the scene in Vancouver? Did you see much of it, or?
Yeah, I mean, from what I saw in the event, it was good, man. You guys are definitely digging in the arts.
Appreciate that. What is like one or a couple lessons you'd give the youth nowadays
As far as
breaking
for
life and just b-boys coming up and coming b-boys?
again, like the lesson I learned right now, patience.
Patience.
You know, which is very important. To me, is don't put yourself ahead of where you are or where you're supposed to be or where you think you should be. Like, always make sure you're on the what is, like on the time, the journey, your growth, your personal growth. You know, like everybody's time will come, your moment will come. If you stick with it, you do the right things to approach the dance right, you reach the level that you envisioned.
Is there like something you think people could apply every day to like work on their patience? Is there like an actual like step or anything you think?
I mean, the step should be just enjoying the process, you know, like enjoying what it is you're doing, and don't base it off just winning, or just base it on creating an image, you know. I think you should just practice, enjoy the dance most of all, because the dance, you only have a certain amount of time to do this dance, and if you don't have your mind on enjoying it, you're gonna miss out.
How long have you been breaking for?
I've been dancing 24 years.
Woo! That's as old as I've been alive, son!
Yeah, a long time.
Is there like any like moments in your career that you say changed it for better or worse? Like any pinnacle moments?
I mean, I believe every moment is critical, you know, every moment is important. Everything you go through, you see, you do, your experience will make you better or make you worse. You know, it depends on you and your approach.
Right. What is some of the like hardest lessons you've had in breaking?
Is the hardest lessons, I mean, I would say is just staying in it, you know, recreating yourself and always finding ways to adapt to the times, you know. Things do change.
Yeah. Is there any
movement changes and you have to adapt to it.
Have you taken other dance styles?
I mean, I'm able to do a couple of dance styles, you know, salsa, merengue.
Is there any that like helped a lot?
I mean, I tend to use a lot of the other dances. I mean, not necessarily the exact movement, but somewhat mimic some and put it into my dance, into it, you know. Capoeira, ballet, you know, all that stuff.
Right. Have you taken
twist turns that you could use, you know?
Have you taken ballet?
Never taken ballet.
Damn.
But I use spins, you know. A lot of my moves have a lot of spins in it, so I consider it kind of the same, you know.
Do you watch other dance styles?
I mean, I've definitely watched all dance styles,
Yeah.
you know. So that's why I can say I'm able to grasp some from them and put them into breaking, you know.
Yeah.
To create it, yeah, man.
What about so your style is based a lot about storytelling, right?
Definitely storytelling.
Could you talk about that a little bit?
Well, I mean, it's like you know, to me, it has to have purpose. It has to have meaning. You know, it's like a sentence. You know, if I'm speaking to you and I come up to you and I'm just like, hey, and I walk away, like there was no expression there. But if I come, hey, how you doing today, sir? You know, now we're having a conversation.
Connection, right?
The connection flow. You know, it's the same thing that goes with your breaking. You have to have a beginning, a middle, and an ending. To full production, the same things with movies, with books, life period. You know, it's a whole story within a story.
How would one like practice storytelling, or is it just life experience, or is it gaining things from other places?
It's understanding movement. You know, understanding what it is. I base mine on like a roller coaster ride. You know, like
yeah,
and then you land the ride. You know, but But it's also the most important part for me is understanding the everything that has existed in the dance form. You know, one of the most important things for me is knowing like all the b-boys as much as you can at least. I know it's hard to know all of them, but the ones that you figured inspired you, or even if they didn't, you know, just go and study them. Study other b-boys. You know, I tell people like in my style I use everybody's. You know, you see a little bit of Storm, of Ken Swift, Emilio, Swift Rock, Enemy Squad, like Actual Force, like
Yeah.
I use all of their stuff that I've seen that to me they're like make some of their movements foundational, or they let other people use it, you know. So you see all their movements in my break, and then I just saw it, studied all of them, and then created my own way of coming about it, you know. I think it's very important to do your homework, man.
Word. Did they teach you all of
They
them?
didn't teach me. We just watched them and learned, and we watched them so much and digged into them and dissected them so much that we're able to figure it out, you know, like. And that's that move. I think we could use that or that one or that one, and just put it in our own way and create our own movement, you know.
Word. Did they? Did you have teachers starting, or did you?
No, not at all, man.
No
You know,
teachers.
When we first started, we just saw breaking in a music video.
Ooh, which video?
That's why I can never remember. Always, I can never remember the damn video. But
Do you remember who it was? The breaking in the video?
we don't. I mean, we do, but I can't like right now. Always the same question always happens to me. I can't remember the
In the moment, on the spot. Aside.
In the moment, it was my friend, and then Rudy Goblins, who were there, and his brother was older, so we just went and asked him if he knew anything about this dance form.
Yeah.
Because my friend saw it in the video, like, yo, I want to do that, because we used to do in the 90s, the old school, all the funky dancing in the 90s. That's what we did, and then we saw breaking that video. We're like, my best friend at that time was like, hey, we want to do that. And then me and Rudy were like, you crazy, we'll never do that. But whatever, we decided to try it.
That's who you started with?
That's
Just you and your boy?
Yeah, me and my boy Rudy Goblin, right? Me and Rudy Goblin started the same day, same moment, same time.
And are you guys still like just like that?
We're still close, man. We're still best friends, so that's cool, man. You know, so we're still dancing together. We still have the crew together, same crew since the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And then when I got you and I brought you here, first thing you did was get home, sauna, workout. Then in the middle of prelims, you came back and got your training in.
Right.
Could you touch base on like how pivotable like physique is and conditioning around breaking?
Right. I mean, personally for me, I think it's very important. You know, I read a book one day, and it was Bruce Lee, and he was talking about the importance of physical workout and also practicing your art, and how they go hand in hand. And they're just as important, you know, like they're not one is more important than the other. They should be equally done and practiced to better your art form. It always stuck with me, so I stayed, and so from that moment I kept the workout and the practicing the art form. I think they're very important. It gives you longevity, you know, the staying strong, stretching, nutrition, another important one for me.
What's your nutrition story?
I've been vegetarian, vegan since I was 19 years old.
Woo!
So I've gone on and off, you know, like I'll go vegan, vegetarian.
Right.
So, you know.
But no meat.
Never. Since I was 19 years old, I haven't ate nothing with a nervous system.
What changed your mind around all that?
When I was 19, for me, it was more spiritual.
Okay.
Than actual nutritional aspect of it.
Okay.
For me, it was more just like, I don't see animals different than us.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just that, you know, like I have respect for nature, you know, and you don't mess with me, I don't mess with you. Respect, you respect. You know?
And then as you progressed, did that change, or has it always stayed just spiritual?
It stayed spiritual. I mean, the fact that it's spiritual and the fact that the health aspect comes with it, it's a plus, you know?
Word. So I'm just covering my phone so it doesn't overheat.
Yeah, I feel you. But yeah, it's very important, you know. I mean, I understand that not everybody can be vegan. It's a hard lifestyle, you know. It's something that you really gotta want to do. I mean, it's definitely a plus, you know. But if you don't go vegan to those extents, at least eating clean, you know, no processed foods, you know, less sugar as possible.
Have you had like struggles around that before? Have people like come at you or challenge your opinions around that, or has it been pretty straightforward?
People are always gonna challenge your ways, you know, but that's okay, you know. Nothing will ever change my path or what it is I'm doing over there, why I'm doing my things, you know. I listen to people and let it, I mean, it's their life, you know. This is my life, so I choose
Word.
to stay this path, you know.
How did you manage to keep such a clear mind around that and not like let that get to you?
I think it's just the love for life, you know. I love life and I want to stay here as long as possible, and I also want to do my art as long as possible, you know.
Yeah.
I'm going on 24 years and I'm still able to move like a 19-year-old, you know.
And you think the trick to that, or secret, or if there is one, is just proper health, proper nutrition?
Proper health, proper nutrition, mentally there, meditation, you know, stretching. Stretching is very important, you know. Like throughout the years, I found like a stretching routine that works for me, you know. That's from like playing with it the whole time I've been dancing.
Do you think that's like person specific, or is that like one day you think it could help many people?
Oh, stretching will help everybody. I mean, stretching is very important for anybody that's trying to be longevity in this art form, you know. It helps you in so many ways, you know.
But you said you have a like specific
I have my
one?
own routine. I figured out a routine that works for me, and I think everybody could find their own routine, you know, because everybody has different injuries or different things that they need more flexibility on.
Right.
Know. The one I found for me works.
Do you have any injuries, or what's the biggest injuries you've had?
I would say the groin, double pulled groin was the biggest injury I ever had.
Was that from power, or?
That was from power, I would say. I mean, I wouldn't pinpoint it to power. I would just say it's just from moving, you know.
Yeah.
And it's recently, man. I've never really had an injury in my life, you know.
Really?
It just recently happened. But it went away, man. So I was like, I would say it was like 5 months ago I was injured, man. And then after that, I came back, hit the 10 everywhere.
Hey. How long were you injured for?
I said I was injured for like 6 months, man.
And you were, what did you do?
I was still dancing. I was still doing like creativity, my flavor, you know. But it felt like I was not going to be able to do power. But it's funny because one day I was at practice and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for power. Two things can happen.
Either going to injure myself,
either I'm going to finish
triple
this
groin injury,
or I'm gonna get over this injury. And
you got over it.
And I got over the injury.
Dang.
Man. I took the risk and it helped. The fact that I went for it and started moving more and trying more things, injury left, and my power has upgraded by far.
Since then, just since that 6 months, eh?
Since that 6 months, and since I made that choice to actually, you know what, I'm just gonna do the power, man.
Would you say there was a bit of a mental block there then for a little bit?
Yeah, there was a mental block, you know, because you feel like you're not gonna be able to to do power again, you know, and it's like, oh shit, is this it? But I took the risk and it helped, you know, it did. But again, it has to do with figuring it out for yourself. Find out how you can fix yourself. I do yoga too, you know, so it helps out a lot. The nutrition, the good water, you know, less sugar, all that stuff helps, man. It's all for the art.
Do you have like daily health and nutrition and like things that you feel like have become a staple in your lifestyle to keep that injury rate down?
I mean, like I said, it's just finding ways to taking care of yourself on a daily basis. Like every day is his own day, you know. So for you, it's just to make sure that day you're able to move or able to do and practice or just go to dance or do a show or go battle, whatever, you know. But I have a very strict diet. My diet is very strict at home.
Do you want to touch base on that diet a little bit?
Well,
what it looks like?
My diet is mostly like, when I'm really in it, my diet just consists of like soups, all types of soups.
What kind of soups?
Like lentil soup, black bean soups, vegetable soups.
Do you make it all?
Nah, it depends, because sometimes I'm going fast, but I do all my foods is always organic. I go to Whole Foods and get the low sodium soups, you know. All that stuff, all time, the mixed nuts.
Like canned soups or?
No, I don't do canned soups. They come in like I can't even. It's definitely
like bulk or?
No, it's not bulk. It's just it's like a
container.
It's like a paper container, but
okay.
Like,
so like they make the soup there, and then you buy it.
Yeah, in Whole Foods they make the soup, so I just buy it from them.
Right.
It's definitely not canned though. I don't try to do cans, but yeah, mixed nuts. I do the Vega proteins. I do both the Vega Sport and the Vega One. You know, I do.
Do you think that supplementation is like super beneficial for you?
Definitely it is, because you replace meals. You know, I also do a lot of fasting, so I fast a lot. You know, but.
How long have you been fasting for?
The whole time. You know, I go on and off with all these things. You know, because you have your times when you're really in it, you have times when you're not. You know.
What's the longest you've ever fasted for?
In
Like
in the
period,
span,
yeah.
I
You
can't
know?
even say. You know, as I said, it's like
You don't track it, hey?
I don't track. I don't need to. I don't like to live like that.
You just
know, I
go
don't like
off
to
of
go-
what-
I just feel it. You know
Right.
what it is. What are you feeling right now? What do you want to do? How you want to approach it? And then I just listen to my body. You know, what do you need? What are you feeling?
Yeah.
How are we gonna get better? How can we keep going? You know, I mean, the body talks to you. You know, you just gotta listen.
Just gotta listen.
But yeah, it's just that. You know, my diet consists of mostly just juicy fruits. Mixed nuts, all types of soups. The less, like I try to just make it more the fastest way the body could break down the food. You know, the less
Right.
I can take. You know, less solids.
Do you have cheat days or?
I have one cheat day on Sundays, so yes.
What's a cheat day look like?
It's
And
just
then-
mostly greasy foods. I'm Latino. I'm from Nicaragua, so I
Hey!
eat a style of food that we have is called fritanga.
Okay.
That has me like, yeah. People know, if you know me and you're my friend, you know about me and my fritanga. You know, so. It's just massive amount of greasy food.
What's that look like for
It's just rice
us
and
white
beans and
boys?
plantains, you know, like stuff like that, you know. But it's just all like greasy, oiled up. But it tastes so good.
I'm gonna have to check it out someday.
Definitely.
What are your thoughts around like all these mock meats and like the Beyond Burger, A&W, and all that stuff?
I mean, again, for me, that once in a while it would be good.
Like a treat meal,
Like a treat meal.
but never
definitely.
like an actual staple of
Never
anything.
like a consistent thing. For me, at least, you know, it's just it's still process somehow. You know, like, it's better than it's better than meat any day,
Yeah.
but not too much of it. You know,
Right.
try to stick more on the vegetables. You know, grains and stuff like that.
Did going a little bit different direction. Did like when you were growing up, was your family supportive of you breaking?
My
Or-
mom was actually my number one supporter. She's the
Same.
one that gave me strength and believed in it. You know, she never blocked me from it.
Yeah.
She never said no. I mean, she had doubts. You know, breaking is not an art form that's easy to make a living off of. There's no blueprint for our dance.
Right. How long have you been supporting yourself fully off of breaking, or are you now still?
I've always supported myself. over
Since
breaking,
day one.
Since day one, you know.
So
it's-
how'd you do it in the beginning?
I mean, for us, it was mostly shows. You know.
Like street shows, busking?
Yeah, everybody hit at the beginning. You
Yeah.
know, everybody went to the streets, trying to make money. For that was the easiest way at the moment. Once
This-
you start learning the professional way, you start grabbing a team and getting suits together and making sure that you guys get routines and able to create a show and then sell the show. You know, that's just one angle.
This was in in Miami.
This is in Miami. I've always been in Miami.
Always
yes.
in Miami.
Yes.
How do you feel about Miami in comparison to the rest of the world?
As far as what?
As far as living, breaking, yeah.
I mean, living is paradise for me.
Yeah?
I love Miami. I can't leave it. You know, there's so much to do. The diversity of cultures, the diversity of foods. You know,
What part of Miami are you in?
I've been all over Miami, so
Okay.
I can't pinpoint a point. Yeah,
So you keep constantly move?
I keep constantly moving. They're all different. Right now, I'm right in the center,
Six, like downtown?
around there. Yes.
Okay.
hmm
And then what about scene-wise for breaking?
Scene-wise, it's always been an epitome of breaking. You know, Miami's known for the style we brought to breaking. You know, for the movement we brought to breaking. You know,
Yeah.
everybody knows that. I mean, if you know your history at least, you know what Miami brought. You know,
Yeah.
as far as style. But of course, you know, it slows down, and I teach at studios to try to bring that scene back. You know, try to get the kids involved, try to get the kids to understand breaking and love breaking as much as I did when
Yeah.
I grew up. You know.
What would your advice be for someone like me who who's trying to teach online on YouTube? Like, what would you say are the things that you think is like most important for me to get across to the youth, and what do you think are the things that like are most important for me to stay away from?
Well, for me, it's just knowing the history of breaking, first of all. You know, who's who, why, the different types of movement that have existed in breaking.
We are on a mountain, ladies and gentlemen, so we're just making sure no bears coming up on us. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah. So just that, you know, just knowing your history, knowing what it is and why you're teaching and what you're teaching, and most important, the order of operation of what you're teaching. Very important, you
Okay.
know. And there's steps to it, you know. You can't. I don't think somebody should be learning windmills if they don't know a 6-step, you know.
Right,
Which is what most kids want to learn,
100%.
the windmill hand.
I've heard some people touch base on like that one move being the reason they started though. So do you think it's like still, it's like it's okay if they get in with that move as long as they eventually learn it, or do you think they need to like start from the, you know, from a basic top rock step to a footwork step and then
I think
gradually get into power?
Right. I think it should be that order of operation.
Okay.
You know, I think it should be the top rock, the footwork. There's a lot of foundational moves before you can even, because if you can't even understand how the flow of six step, the style, the form of a six step, the form of top rock, the landing of a step, like how can you move forward?
And it teaches you the patience, right?
It teaches most important the patience, knowing that there's an amazing move ahead of you if you get this part.
Right.
That's pretty cool, you know.
Do you, because I know there's obviously tons of people that have not done that and just strictly focus on just power. What do you think of people that are like pure power heads and like do no top rock, do no footwork, or can't even do it?
I mean, that's a choice at the end of the day. You know, if somebody chooses just to do power and they're breaking, that's their life, and they're missing out.
Yeah.
You know, they're missing out on the art form or on everything that's with it, that comes with it, you know. Because there's so much in breaking, just from forward, from top rock, from foundations, from power move both ways, forward both ways, all types of freezes, all types of form, the flows, the threads, it's like infinite.
Word.
Why wouldn't you want it?
Right.
If this is an art form you do, why wouldn't you want to try everything that comes with it? It doesn't make any sense.
Dude.
I mean, I know how I know power is amazingly fun. I do it. You know?
Is that why you'd say people just focus on that sometimes?
Yeah,
just purely just because it's just what they love?
It's
just
an amazing.
fun?
It's an amazing feeling, and it's not that it's only an amazing feeling, but it's a hard thing to get. You know, if anybody does power, you know the process of getting a certain move, and you know how hard it is to get a certain power move. There's respect to that. You know?
What was the hardest power move for you to get?
I would say for me, it's head spins.
Yeah.
Actually, not even. I would say flares. Flares is one of the hardest moves for me.
Flares, hey?
Yeah, flares. But I've done all power moves. You know, I've tried every power move. I told myself, try every single power move that exists, whether your body lets you do it or not.
Yeah.
It's okay. But you don't want to go out saying, damn, I never tried that move. Why not? Try it. If the body doesn't let you, it's okay. At least you know you tried it.
Yeah.
Right.
From judging it all over the world, couple questions around that. But firstly, like, what would you like to see more of? And like in all the prelims you see, and like the 8,000 b-boys that you watch and judge all the time.
The main one is understanding that that's the most important round of the whole battle, of the whole event.
Prelims, hey?
You know, the prelims. A lot of people tend to hold back the first round, so it makes it hard for the judges. You know,
Never holding back.
To me,
right?
I think I would put everything into my first prelim round, especially if there's so many b-boys coming at me. How do you stand out? The goal is to make yourself stand out in just a competition conversation of it. You know. So in a competition conversation of it, you should be able to do your best moves the first time, because that's what's gonna get you in.
Right.
You know, a lot of people hold back and then they get mad when they don't make it. It's like, ask yourself that question.
Yeah. How do you manage to sit there and like still pay attention to each b-boy when you're watching literally that many, like hundreds?
It's overwhelming at times, you know. But the thing is that the people do start standing out, you know, because it's actually kind of easy to judge things like that, because you can see the people that have created their own movement, the people that will stand out, you know. You can
because I guess you're on the front lines watching all the time, right?
A lot of people use the same moves over and over and over and over and over and over and over. You know?
What are like the most, like 5 most overused moves?
Nah, there's a lot. Man. Overused moves, you know. I mean, like there's nothing new under the sun. I would never say that, you know. Everything's already created. I mean, the body can only move certain
many
ways, you know. So it's putting it together in a way that you haven't seen, or understanding your body type and the movement that it could produce.
Word.
You know?
Word. Sick, man.
But it's definitely judging these things will never be easy. You know?
I think that's a woodpecker.
That's amazing.
That's crazy. Sounds like a bell.
Right.
Damn. What's like, in your eyes, the most you've learned from a jam? Like, what jam taught you the most, or what experience around a jam? It could be like getting an injury right before, or like getting together with a crew, or getting the crew together for a jam, or like if there's anything that sticks out.
Well, I mean, like I said, every event's gonna teach you something. Every event's gonna upgrade you or degrade you. Know, like make you better, make you worse, depending on the attitude you come out with. You know, so you can learn from every event and see your faults and see where you could get better. You know, that's what always made breaking fun to me. You know, going to an event and be like, oh wow, that didn't work out.
Right.
Let me go back to the lab and figure this out. You know, like so I could become better in the next champ. You know, so every event's gonna teach you something. Every moment's gonna be different. You're gonna see what if your movement wasn't correct, where you could fix your form, or you could your stamina, or teamwork, or like were you in it, were you too nervous, were you too like, you know, like was your body tired, did you eat right? Like it's so much things that happen, you know.
Yeah.
Going into any event, you know. So it's just you'll have your good events and you have your bad events. You have your events that your body's ready to go and you're gonna be like, oh wow, today I feel amazing, and you're gonna do amazing, you know. And for me, it's always been that, you know. I always tell myself, just go to an event, make sure you leave a memorable battle. I never really care for wins. And to me, it's just, can you create a moment that'll live forever, you know?
And that's coming down to the storytelling again, right?
Right?
And just like expressing yourself authentically in the moment. And how important to you is music in that moment?
I mean, music is part of the dance. You can't separate it, you know? I don't think this dance form should be fragmented in any way, shape, or form. You know, there's so much to it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There's people that do sets, there's people that freestyle, there's people that could do both. There's people that could dance, there's people that are more musically inclined, you know? There's more people that have better forward than others. But at the end of the day, none of this should be fragmented. It should be all together, you know?
Right.
So that's why the drawing book is so big.
So big.
That's why it's never ending.
Yeah.
You can never finish the dance form.
And you think the best for kind of like finding what you love in that is just by experimenting and trying it all?
Right, trying it all, man. You have to try it out, and that goes back to like a person that just does flavor and never tries power, or a power head that never does flavors. Like,
right.
Oh, you don't know what you're missing out on both
right.
worlds, you know.
And I find, especially with me, like being a millennial and in my generation, like we have so many options, and now that breaking's so out there with YouTube and everything, like I feel like it's an important thing to like focus on one thing and actually invest time into before then judging if you like it or not. Do you think that's like valid point of view, or would you say like you should just bounce around, or is it like a 3 months on this, a couple months on this, like a week on this, like actually invest in time before really like deciding your opinions around it?
I mean, creating anything that's gonna be meaningful takes time, you know. So like for me, like to create a round or create movement takes me like 3 months just for one nice little flow, you know.
Just for like a move just combination?
One flow, it takes me like 3 months for me to be like, okay, I really enjoy this one, you know. Because it's trial and error, you know. Take one move out, take the other one out, put this one in.
So it's just constant rearranging. Lego blocks.
Lego blocks.
Lego blocks. Let's go.
It is, man. So yeah, so that's what it is. So I take my time on creating what I do because we have time. There is time to create a good movement, and there is time to create a meaningful journey of you as a b-boy, you know. There's no need to rush, man. If things are there for you, they're gonna be there for you. That's one thing I've learned from 24 years. I'm one of the b-boys that has never ever stopped.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the 24 years straight, non-stop.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
Yes, it is insane, you know. And I'm still going strong. I'm still loving the dance like it was the first day. You know, when I first started, my main goal was when I first started breaking, I was like, okay, what is it that you really want out of this dance? And I told myself, I want to see my style mature. You know, I want to see my style grow up, and to watch it at a place where it's like, wow, you did it, it's there, you know, it's grown up.
Right.
And almost there, but it's still some time left, you know, but that's all I ever wanted from this dance, just to watch my style mature. Because when I saw, back in the days when I saw Can't Swift, Swift Rock, I saw a mature style, and I'm like, Jesus, I want to get there. How do you get there? How do you get this for your style to be that mature?
And what would you say your answer is now, 24 years later?
As far as what?
To that question that you asked yourself.
To mature?
Yeah, like if you could tell yourself back then, as you are now, like that answer, if you're like, how do I get there? How do I get to that matured style? There? Yeah, but like what are the stepping stones to get in there?
Oh, that comes from it molds into itself, you know.
Okay.
Like the movements become part of you, and you just know your movements now, you know. You just have so much control of them, and they started as babies and they were like little movements, but they weren't fully like confidence behind them. 24 years later, I have so much confidence in every single move that I do that
Yeah.
now it could become mature, right? Now it's a full grown movement, you know.
Would you say that comes from like just grinding in the
That
lab,
just comes
or
with consistency. Just
or
keep
battling, or all of it?
everything that comes with the dance form. Just keep going, just keep moving, don't
Yeah.
think, just keep practicing, keep trying things, keep trying different movements, different approaches, different flows, different freezes, and eventually your style will come, you know.
And you were talking to me before, you told me a story about I don't think that was stripes. I was using that snuck into schools, right, to break.
Definitely, yeah.
Could you touch base on that? Because I thought that was insane. Because
It's definitely insane, you know. We like when we were young, at 14, 15, 16, there was no really practice spots. We started in '94, so we had to go into like schools and sneak into these schools and climb like the doors, and they had a little opening on the top. So you would climb on top, you would hit the door thing, and it would open. So then we would go in and go find a little spot within the school because it had like smooth concrete, you know. And we used to practice there. Then we had another school where cops used to come all the time, you know. And we've been held gunpoint just for practicing, you know, on the floor. Kids, you know, you're on the floor like this, like, yo, I'm just breaking, you know.
that was at like 14, 15?
Around those areas, yeah. You
Wow.
know? So you're there wondering, Jesus, this is just a dance form. But in the 90s, there was a lot of gang-related situations, I guess.
And they just thought you were affiliated.
They were definitely thought we were affiliated, but we were doing something positive. We were trying to just dance, you know, but I guess they didn't understand.
Would you say that motivated you more, that happened, or that motivate you,
I mean,
or was that like putting you
down? At that
down?
moment in time, you're just a kid having fun dancing, you know. You're not paying attention to why these guys are doing it. It's just like,
It just is.
it just is. Like,
Yeah.
What the fuck? I just want to dance.
That's crazy. That must be crazy looking back on that now.
Yeah. And from my house, there used to be a park. We used to buy the linoleum, and we used to walk across the streets all the way to the park carrying an linoleum, and people are like, "What are you guys doing?"
How
What
far
are you
was
guys
that?
doing?" I would say like 6-7 blocks.
It's heavy too, right?
Yeah, it was a big one. So we
Yeah.
had like 3 people carrying an linoleum across, and people looking at us like, "Why are you guys carrying that? And
Yeah.
Where are you going? Why?" You know. And to us, we didn't care. We're just kids. Like, we're about to go practice, man. It's good, you know. That was fun, you know.
That's so dope.
Yeah, it all helped to create who I am now, you know. Like, all those struggles, you know. The love for the art, most of all.
Yeah. Could you touch base on your name origins?
Rudy Goblin gave me my name, and I didn't like it at first. Like,
Why didn't you like it at
I
first?
don't know. I didn't see it. And then after, the more I danced, the more I practiced, the more it made the most sense, you know. My style is based on, I start with one move, get another one, and eventually I have a visual, which
Yeah.
again will fall down into the storytelling.
It's the epitome. It all goes full circle,
It will
right?
always fall down to storytelling. I mean, that's all we do all day, every day, everybody, right? We're all little stories within the big stories.
Yeah. Yo, truth. Is there like one thing outside of breaking that really helps you with breaking? I know you do like P90X and yoga and everything, but is there some like, even it doesn't even have to be like movement related. Just
Right.
like,
I mean, it's just people with passion, you know, people with
connection, right?
connection with others. I mean, life is relationship, you know. So if you find somebody else, some other peoples on the earth with such passion for what they're doing, you get inspired. Like, wow, you know, I'm part of this passionate movement, you know.
So it's finding like passionate people in all
passionate
forms of
people
life.
who love what they're doing, honesty, and they want to give back to not only their community but to life itself, you know.
Right.
We're all one, so if we have enough passionate people, we can create something beautiful.
Hey, on that note, do you have any leaving notes you'd like to say?
Yeah,
Anything?
just enjoy life. For younger generation, be patient. Your time will come. Enjoy the journey, man. I'm telling you, man, you have to enjoy this. If you're not enjoying this, you're doing it for the wrong reason. You're gonna get what's coming to you. Everybody gets their piece of whatever it is they're gonna get. But just love the art. Make sure it is for the art. Make sure it is for the community. Make
Right.
sure it's for loving yourself and loving everything.
Self-preservation too, right?
Self-preservation, you know, take care of yourself. Eat right. Stretch. Drink water. But you only get one life, man.
One life,
One
man.
life, man.
Is there anything you'd like to plug?
We're
Merchandise, channels, any plug?
LTGO Clothing.
Hey.
Let go. The name of the clothing line is Let Go Clothing. Again, it stands for letting go of everything and just enjoying everything as is. Don't get attached. Let Go Clothing. Follow it on Instagram, LTGO Clothing. Follow me on Instagram, Bboy Lego. Peace, love, and respect to everybody. Hope you enjoy this.
Word, thank you. Ba-ba-ba. If even just one thing helped you from this video, please go show Lego some love at LTGO Clothing on Instagram and Bboy Lego on Instagram. Peace and love, y'all.